Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help.
A child who begged neighbors for food. A millionaire coach accused of plotting murder. Years later, the internet still can't believe it happened. These are 3 influencers whose fame turned to crime. Number 3, Ruby Franca.
So tell us who you're named after.
Grandpa.
Which grandpa? Okay, we're gonna try this again.
In the mid-2000s, YouTube was full of family vloggers. People loved the idea of peeking into the daily lives of others, seeing kids grow up, watching quirky moments, and feeling like part of an extended family. Among the most popular was 8 Passengers, a channel run by Ruby Franke and her husband Kevin. The Franks were members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They had 6 children, Sherry, Chad, Abby, Julie, Russell, and Eve, and lived in Ivins, Utah. When Ruby and Kevin launched 8 Passengers in 2015, their content seemed wholesome. Homeschooling tips, after-school sports, cooking, family road trips. Within a few years, they had over 2 million subscribers and more than 1 billion views. Ruby's fans saw her as the ultimate momfluencer. She spoke openly about faith, discipline, and what she believed were proper parenting methods. But slowly, cracks began to show. Viewers noticed things that didn't feel right.
Eve did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch. I responded and just said, Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, so the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry.
In one video, Ruby admitted that her 6-year-old daughter forgot to pack a lunch for school. And rather than dropping one off, Ruby let her go hungry to teach responsibility. In another clip, she casually mentioned withholding breakfast from her kids until chores were done, bragging that they were literally starving. Then there was the Christmas when Ruby and Kevin decided not to give gifts to their 2 youngest children, calling them selfish. On camera, it seemed strict but structured. Off camera, critics began to wonder if this was discipline or abuse hiding in plain sight. By 2020, petitions started circulating online, urging Child Protective Services to investigate. Concerned viewers showed videos where Ruby's oldest son, Chad, described being sent to a wilderness camp for troubled teens, then losing his bedroom for months as punishment. Ruby defended it all, claiming she was instilling accountability.
I definitely hate the things she did, and I feel like I'm also a very lighthearted person in a sense where I would never wish someone to have a bad life, or what I really hope is that from here she becomes a better person and that she works.
But in August 2023, everything came crashing down. In a quiet Utah neighborhood, Ruby's 12-year-old son Russell climbed out of a window at the home of Jody Hildebrandt, a counselor Ruby had been working with. The boy was emaciated, his skin marked with deep wounds, duct tape wrapped around his ankles. Barefoot and desperate, he ran to a neighbor's house and begged for food and water. The neighbor, horrified, called 911. Inside the house, police found Russell's 10-year-old sister Eve in similar condition. Both children were taken to a hospital, severely malnourished. Ruby and Hildebrandt were arrested that same day. The charges were devastating. 6 counts of aggravated child abuse, each carrying up to 15 years in prison. Prosecutors accused Ruby and Hildebrandt of starving, torturing, and emotionally manipulating the children. Evidence showed the kids had been tied up and denied food for long stretches. When news broke, the internet lit up. Clips from Ruby's old videos resurfaced. Moments that once looked like strict parenting now felt like foreshadowing. People asked how this had gone unnoticed for so long. Former fans described feeling complicit for ever supporting the channel. Even Ruby's oldest daughter, Sherry, who had distanced herself from the family, posted a single word to Instagram after the arrest: finally.
I don't come today as the daughter of a felon, nor as a victim of an abnormally abusive mother. I come today as a victim of family vlogging. My goal is not to present any idea of a solution to this problem, but to shed light on the ethical and monetary issues that come from being.
During hearings, prosecutors presented damning details. Russell's escape wasn't a one-time event. It was the culmination of years of escalating control. Police even noted that Ruby had appeared in a YouTube video filmed inside Hildebrandt's home just 2 days before the children were found. proof she was present and aware of what was happening. Kevin, Ruby's husband, was not charged. His attorney claimed he had been living separately from Ruby for over a year and had no knowledge of the abuse. Still, the damage to the family was catastrophic. Their once idolized channel had been shut down, their children placed in protective custody, and Ruby's carefully curated image as a mother of faith was shattered beyond repair. The public struggled with the same haunting question. How could someone who spent years preaching discipline and family values on YouTube become the face of one of the most shocking child abuse cases in recent memory? Ruby Frank's case is still unfolding, but one thing is certain. The bright lights of internet fame can cast long shadows, and for Ruby, those shadows exposed a reality darker than anyone could have imagined. Number 2. Jay Mazzini. On Instagram, Jay Mazzini was a rising star. He wasn't just another influencer showing off luxury cars and designer clothes. He branded himself as a modern-day Robin Hood. His videos showed him handing stacks of cash to struggling fast food workers, surprising friends with thousands of dollars, and giving back to his community. Followers loved it. By 2020, Mazzini had built an audience of nearly 1 million people, with rappers like 50 Cent and Meek Mill appearing in his videos. To his fans, he was proof that generosity and success could go hand in hand. But behind the cameras, something very different was happening. Those flashy giveaways weren't just about kindness, they were bait.
Sometimes you gotta realize there's more to life than materialistic things, cars, fashion, jewelry. You gotta find yourself within life, nature, religion. You'll go broke looking for yourself within these kind of things. Like back in the days, I never found happiness in cars, materialistic things. Yes, I achieved a lot of goals within my life.
As Mazzini's profile grew, he began promoting investment opportunities to his followers. He told them he had access to lucrative stock deals and cryptocurrency trades. Many believed him. After all, he looked successful. He flashed money constantly, and he seemed connected to celebrities. Why wouldn't people trust him? According to federal prosecutors, that trust turned into one of the biggest influencer scams in recent years. Between 2019 and 2021, Mazzini convinced followers and investors to send him over $8 million. He promised quick profits and guaranteed returns. But instead of investing their money, he used it to fuel his own lifestyle, luxury cars, designer clothes, and the very cash he was seen handing out online. The scheme went deeper. Mazzini ran what he called Bitcoin deals, offering to buy crypto from followers at above-market rates. People would send him their Bitcoin expecting big payouts, but the money never arrived. In some cases, he lured victims into wiring him hundreds of thousands of dollars. When they questioned him, he stalled, lied, or cut off contact entirely. By early 2021, suspicions were mounting. Victims started speaking out, warning others that Mazzini wasn't delivering on his promises. Investigators took notice, and soon the facade unraveled. The generous influencer who filmed himself giving away cash was exposed as a con artist, using those very videos to build credibility for his scams. In March 2021, Mazzini was arrested in New Jersey on fraud charges. As the case unfolded, prosecutors revealed just how elaborate the deception had been. He had created fake bank records, staged business ventures, and leaned heavily on his online image to draw people in. Even as victims begged for their money back, he continued posting videos flaunting his wealth. The fallout was swift. Former fans who once praised him as inspirational flooded comment sections with anger. Some admitted they had sent him money, blinded by the dream he sold. Celebrities who had appeared in his videos distanced themselves, claiming they had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. By 2022, Mazzini pled guilty to wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering. He admitted to stealing millions under the guise of being a generous influencer. Facing decades in prison, his story became a case study in how easy it can be to build and weaponize trust on social media. What makes Mazzini's case so haunting is the contrast. His videos weren't staged acts of cruelty, like Ruby Franca's punishments. They were staged acts of kindness. And for thousands of people, that kindness felt real, until it cost them everything. Number 1, Ashley Grayson. If Ruby Franca's story was about abuse hidden in plain sight, and Jay Mazzini's was about generosity turned into fraud, Ashley Grayson's story was something altogether darker, an influencer accused of turning online feuds into a murder-for-hire plot. Ashley Grayson wasn't a household name like Ruby Franca, but in the world of online business coaching, she had built a reputation. She called herself a best-selling author and an 8-figure business coach. Her brand was built on the promise of financial freedom. She sold courses teaching people how to launch companies, promoted herself as proof that success was possible, and cultivated a loyal following who saw her as a mentor. But by 2021, cracks began to appear. Grayson reportedly had a falling out with a Mississippi woman who ran a similar online business. She believed this rival was behind fake accounts criticizing her work. Around the same time, others online began posting negative comments about Grayson, questioning her legitimacy and her claims of wealth. Most influencers might ignore the hate or clap back online. Ashley took a darker path. In August 2022, she contacted a Memphis woman she had worked with before, offering a business opportunity. The woman and her husband traveled to Dallas, expecting some sort of professional deal. Instead, Grayson stunned them with a proposition. She wanted them to kill 3 people. The targets were her Mississippi business rival, her ex-boyfriend, and a Texas woman who had criticized her on social media. Grayson offered $20,000 for each killing, with an extra $5,000 if the rival could be taken out within a week. What Ashley didn't know was that the Memphis couple had no intention of carrying out her plan. Instead, they recorded their conversations with her. They even staged a fake attempt, sending her a picture of police lights to make it seem like they had tried and failed. Believing them, Ashley handed over $10,000 as partial payment. That money, along with the recordings, became the core of the case against her.
Yeah.
But it's not alleged.
She's not suing you.
Oh no, she just wanted me out of here. She put a hit out on me.
Hit out on you?
Oh yeah. And mine was the most. She has multiple hits out, but mine was the most.
How much did she put on your head?
$6,000.
In July 2023, a federal grand jury indicted Ashley and her husband Joshua for using interstate facilities in a murder-for-hire plot. The trial began in March 2024. After a week of testimony, the jury acquitted Joshua but convicted Ashley. On October 31, 2024, she was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison, the maximum allowed under the statute. Because it was a federal case, there would be no parole. Prosecutors called it a 21st century crime, pointing out that the entire feud began online and almost spilled into real-world violence. Investigators emphasized how lucky it was that the Memphis couple had reported her instead of carrying out her plan. The contrast between Ashley's online image and her real actions was chilling. To her followers, she was a coach who promised to help others build their dreams. In reality, prosecutors argued, she was willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars to destroy anyone who threatened her reputation. Her case sparked wider conversations about the pressure of influencer culture. How could someone who appeared to have it all, money, success, an audience, risk everything in such a reckless way? And what does it say about the dangers of taking online feuds too far? And there you have it, 3 influencers whose fame turned into crime. From Ruby Frank to Jay Mazzini to Ashley Grayson, each story shows how quickly the shine of influence can twist into something darker. Some fell because of abuse, some because of fraud, and some because of violence. But the warning is the same. What you see online is not always the truth. Which of these cases shocked you the most? Do you think influencer scandals like these will only grow in the future? Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, stay alert, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.